You're listening to I-95, Bangor's classic rock station with Jay, Stu, and Corey in the morning. Jay, Stu, and Corey rock.
I-95, Jay, Stu, and Corey on Bangor's classic rock station. Here on this lovely, lovely day. Look at it outside. It is gorgeous.
I can't see because it's so dark and wet. I just let the dog out and he was like, why?
I managed to take my dog out this morning in like this magic spot where the rain wasn't really a thing yet. Like it was sprinkling a little bit. The wind was nuts, but the rain wasn't too bad. Not so far. I mean, I expected to get stupid any minute.
I think it's supposed to pick up and then, just be all day long, which is such a wonderful thing to look forward to.
Oh, yeah.
For those of us who just dried out our basements.
But it's supposed to be almost 60 degrees today.
Hey, I'll take
what was
that.
it? 2 weeks ago, it was like, this time of the morning, it was -1 or whatever. Today, it's going to be a high of 60. But the winds are going to be where it's at today as far as all that stuff goes.
That's something to look out for. And I know a lot of people who are going to be traveling today for appointments or, for, obviously for work or school. So something to keep an eye on, those winds, because what happens when we have high winds, thankfully it's not huge with the, with the freezing stuff. But when we have high winds, sometimes stuff comes down.
Yeah.
Like lines and trees and stuff.
I think you'll still see some trees go. I bet you there's going to be a ton of power outages, tons of trees down. They're saying gusts inland could be 45 to 55. Gusts along the coast could be up to 70 miles an hour. So it's going to be a day.
If you're out on the water today, that's going to be fun, huh?
Oh, that'll be just a blast.
Be safe.
But it doesn't matter where you are today. If you're working outdoors today, it's just going to be, it'll be warm. Let's just...
We'll accentuate the positive. It'll be warm.
Yes. You'll be soaked, but you'll be warm.
It'll be a wet warm. It'll be fine.
The wind will dry you out. That's all. We got a matchup. We got that going up yet?
Oh, yeah. That's up there. You picked Let the Good Times Roll from the Cars, and I picked Bad Medicine.
Sweet.
By Bon Jovi, so...
All right, get your votes in there, 991-9713. Let's get right into this with some Guns N' Roses. I-95, Jay, Stu, and Corey on Bangor's classic rock station here on Wind Day.
Yes.
We could change today to Wednesday. How's that?
So the last... It's funny, I think it was Debbie actually, she's got to travel somewhere today, and she was like, I'm going to stop accepting appointments on Monday.
Yeah.
Because the last 3 Mondays have been ridiculous as far as weather goes.
Yep. It's weird, especially how the last 2 weekends in a row have been like, all right, let's jack the temps up to, let's take the thermostat and jack that way up into the 50s or whatever, throw a bunch of rain at you to the point where your basement floods. No one else is just Corey's. Corey's.
I know everybody else's basement that typically gets water, it floods. I know it's not just me.
Oh, yeah. No, it's
not. It's not just me.
It's no fun, pictures. Though. We used to live in this house in Westbrook, and you could watch the rain come in through the walls. Mm-hmm. It was just like, and it didn't pool in the basement, thankfully. Like there was a drain down in one corner, and it all kind of went in one direction. So it was good that way. It didn't flood, but it was always damp if it rained. There was just no way. You couldn't put anything on the floor. You couldn't keep anything on the floor.
Well, that's what we have. Like, we have like a little trench that was built in, and we've got a drain in the floor. But it definitely, it still pools down there in places. And not a lot, unless, of course, the sewer backs up, and then it does. But thankfully, this is just rainwater. But still, it's enough to be like, can't keep anything on the ground. That's for sure. That's not in a plastic tub. But I lived through the flood of 87, so I know not to keep things on the ground in the basement just in case, because you could canoe through my house in that one. That one came all the way up to the first floor, just below the ceiling. So when I say flood, it makes it uncomfortable. It's certainly damp, but...
The house I grew up in Hamden, would do that. Like, if the power went out, especially, the sump pump would die, obviously, if the power would go out. So you get to this point where I would go downstairs in, like, my little rubber boots, and to me, it was cool. I was like, yeah, there's a lake in our basement. I was just like, I wanted to launch a boat, but
Yeah.
obviously didn't.
I keep rubber muck boots down right at the bottom of the stairs because I know there are days where I'm just going to need to step into them and then step down because that's the way the basement is. But you're going to definitely want to keep an eye on things like that today. Spots that were probably just drying out from the last point, going to probably be wet again.
Yeah.
So wind and flooding. Those are the two things that you want to keep an eye out today. That's
And probably power outages. So, whatever you need to get done, I would get it done as quickly as you can in preparation for the idea that, your power could go out, your internet could go out, whatever, so.
And it's 54 right now. So it's certainly,
That is crazy. We'll get your votes in right now. 991-9713. Morning Music Matchup is at the I-95 Facebook page. Like Corey said, 54 degrees, 618, I-95.
And in the bush, in the bush, in the bush, in the
I-95, Jay, Stu, and Corey on Bangor's classic rock station. Just chilling out, doing this morning music matchup thing, which is over at the I-95 Facebook page, or you can vote at 991-9713, of course, just like always. Next hour, this week, we're giving away some different tickets. We got Bret Michaels tickets, right?
Bret Michaels is going to be here with Warrant and Firehouse and Dee Snider. So we'll check that out. That concert's going to be awesome. Some things that happened over the weekend. Some pretty big news things that we're going to have up at i95rocks.com and the app fairly soon here. The biggest thing that caught my attention right off, because I couldn't believe they were open, because usually every time I drive up there, they're not. They're only open for takeout. And I'm like, come on, somebody hit Denny's.
You know what's funny about that? I was there 2 minutes before it happened. We had tried to go to Denny's to go to breakfast yesterday. And it was too busy. We were like, screw this. So we went into Sam's Club to do some shopping because we were going to anyway. And I remember pulling out of Sam's Club, and I just happened to look at the clock on the car, and it was like 10:25, something like that. And then I saw this all on I think it was like on the Bangor scanner pages where I saw it initially. And it said it happened at like 10:30.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. So we lucked out. I'm glad we didn't get breakfast yesterday.
Well, every time I've gone there, like I said, they've been closed, and I was bummed out. But apparently, after the person, and it's one of those things where I think, the person just got park or reverse and drive mixed up and then hit the gas real hard. They struck the building hard enough to knock plates off the table, according to Bangor PD, which that must have been interesting for everybody inside. But then they tried to back up and move away from it, and in doing so, they hit 4 or 5 other cars.
Oh, yeah.
That's the biggest pain. So people had to be towed out of there. That's just, especially on a Sunday morning. So definitely some damage done to the vehicles. They're saying several $1,000s worth, unfortunately.
Oh, sure.
And that Denny's, they stayed open, which, I wish I had known. I would have gone there. But they're going to have to check on the structural integrity of the building and see how that works, because yikes. But we will have something up about that shortly here at i95rocks.com and the app.
But it was that whole section of town was nuts yesterday. Like when we went into Sam's Club, we got there right when they opened. There was a line from the door all the way down to the exit of people waiting to get in there, and it was like the same deal at Denny's. When we pulled into Denny's, it was like the little breezeway area was stuffed full of people. That's why we were just like, oh yeah, screw this, we're out of here, And then we went to go shopping, and I got double mad when I looked at the stupid line at Sam's, and I'm just like, I almost launched like a rocket right through the roof of the car.
Oh, well, we had to go. I had to bring my son over to walk-in care yesterday, and I thought, we'll get there real early. We'll get there like 10 of 8. They open at 8. It'll be fine. We'll get in and we'll get out. Because the day before, the wait was 4 hours, and I was like, screw this, go home and rest. 11 people in line in front of us waiting to get through the door. So not only is the shopping season in full swing, but apparently everybody and their mother is sick.
Yeah.
So,
everything's going around. It's like COVID's going around, flu's going around. There's a version of the cold that's going around that people just can't get rid of. You know, I was talking to somebody else. It's like, oh, I've been sick for weeks. It's like, oh, great. Thanks for stopping by. Anyway. All right, let's wrap up this matchup. Get your last votes in at the I-95 Facebook page or 9919713. And let's see who is victorious when we come back. I-95, Jay Stu and Corey on Bangor's classic rain station. That's what we're here for today, everybody. To let you know the forecast.
Yeah.
I think it's quite obvious what the forecast is. What the forecast, WTF indeed.
Yeah. It's gonna. And how long is this supposed to last? All the way through the evening, right?
Oh, yeah. It tapers off later on. But and then tomorrow we get to reap the benefits of today a little bit. And it's supposed to be kind of sunny, kind of cloudy, probably still a little breezy, but still very warm. Oh. So that may go a long way towards drying things out. It's not that's one good thing that's not going to happen in this rain situation that happened last week, I think it was, where it was really warm, we got all that rain, and then it chilled down real fast. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of black ice and things like that we were talking about. That's not going to be the case tonight. It's not going to get down much lower than like 40 degrees, so we're all set.
Oh, good.
So, yeah. Not bad.
All right, then.
I mean, not bad as far as giant windy rainstorms go.
Yet. We'll see if the wind picks up how much, you know. I look at the trees and some of the big old growth trees around my neighborhood, for instance. Thankfully, most of the ones that end up with, like, debris and stuff that fall off have been taken down over the last decade that I've been here. Like, most of the big trees in this block, there used to be quite a few, have been removed.
Yeah.
But there's some areas like on Broadway, every time, like West Broadway, every time I take West Broadway after a storm, there's something down, or sometimes.
Well, and you never know too, because like my neighbor next door, I was out walking the dog last week in that storm. I took him out in the morning or whatever, and all of a sudden I hear right, and I was just like, Jesus. And he lost a huge branch out of one of his big tall pine trees in the backyard. And I mean, how many windstorms have we had since I've lived there? And that was the one that finally made it go, you know. So it's every now and then I'm like, oh, all right, there's a bunch of wind. We cleaned out all the dead wood. We're good now. No.
Nope. Yeah.
Not at all.
So
next thing you know, it's all laying on a power line.
Yeah. Keep your eyes up. Make sure that I usually don't let the kids play after a windstorm for a little bit, just to make sure that everything settles, because we've got some older trees in the backyard, and I'm like, what's gonna come down? Hopefully not on the kid. All right, get out of the way. Let it fall first, and then you can go back in the backyard.
There you go. When we come back, we'll jump right into it. We've got tickets to see Bret Michaels and Firehouse and Dee Snider, and there was one other band, I think. Warrant, right, of course. So we're going to give that away. Stay tuned for that. In fact, we got to come up with our little contest.
Oh, yes.
So we'll see what's up with that. Stay with us on I-95. 95, Jay Stu and Corey on Bangor's classic rock station here on Rains Day. That's what we're calling it today. I like the sound.
So you're
of that.
calling it, yeah.
Oh, why not? I mean, I'm looking outside. The puddles are all dotty and splashy. And it's not getting any brighter for 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it's not. It still looks really wretched out there.
Yeah. So we made up a new game this morning that we're going to play. Of course, on this Bret Michaels bill, the band that I couldn't remember right out of the gate was Warrant. So today, our game is going to be, we're going to ask you, we're going to tell you a celebrity's name, and the game is Warrant or No Warrant. Has this person ever been arrested or whatever? So you just got to tell us that at 9919713. If you want to win yourself some Bret Michaels tickets with Warrant, Firehouse, and Dee Snider, and probably a rock and roll portrait painter at the beginning. It'll be great. So warrants or no warrant? If you can tell us that this morning, you're going to win tickets to see Bret Michaels right here on I-95. 9919713. Do it right now. Little fog hat for Christmas. Why not?
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I also like making people's day and making sure they get to go see cool shows. So let's now see what we're going to do with Warrant or no warrant? I-95, who's this?
This is Chris.
Chris, how you doing?
Good.
Yeah, are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, good enough.
I'm going to do even better in a minute.
Oh, yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. So we're going to play warrant or no warrant. I'm going to tell you a celebrity's name, and you have to tell me, have they ever have they ever been arrested? You think you can work with us here?
Yeah.
All right, coming at you. This celebrity, warrants or no warrant, Matthew McConaughey.
Yes, Matthew McConaughey said Warren.
Yes, you win.
Well,
there you go.
Huh? All right.
Yeah, all right. Man, someday I hope they give me an explosion button. This just isn't fair anymore. Just, I want to be able to be excited with people. Just be like,
Chris is going. He's going to the concert. Brett Michaels, Warrant, Firehouse, D. Snyder, Sunday, September 1st. Ready to go. All set. We're going to do warrant or no warrant again tomorrow. It's pretty easy.
yeah.
We'll have this all throughout the week. Your chance to win some sweet tickets.
And of course, if you didn't get in on the old telephone, you can ski-daddle over to the I-95 app and just enter right there. No words, no nothing. You just go over there and you're just like, beep, 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 put your info in. It beeps like that. No, it doesn't.
It does not beep.
No. It only beeps when I back up.
You and me both, my friend.
But yeah, congrats to Chris. He is off to the show. Tomorrow we'll do it again right here on I-95. I-95, Jay, Stu, and Corey on Bangor's classic rock station, 95.7 FM. You and I were talking about this off air a little while ago, but I'm reading now because, this is just the way this goes. Remember we got those heat stimulus checks? What was it? It was in 2023, but it was like almost a year ago at this point.
Yep.
And those $450 checks. And the federal government, part of the whole setup of that, because it took so long to roll them out, was because the state was like, we want to make sure these aren't going to be taxed by the federal government later. They got the thumbs up from the feds. They're like, all right, you guys are good to go. No taxing. And then what did we report last week? That they are going to tax the $450, which for a family of two, that's $900. Or, a multi-person family. You know what I mean? If there's two incomes, if it's a dual income family, it's $900. So, it's not nothing. But of course, now the feds have flip-flopped a third time.
Do they know how much we hate them? I mean, they must.
Maybe.
It's got to suck to work for the feds.
Sure. But now they have decided again, they are not going to tax the heat stimmies.
Unless they do.
Right, unless they change their mind again. Unless we all get a letter next year being, hey, by the way, you didn't claim this on your taxes. Which you never know. But
it's like they're worse than a kid trying to figure out which color out of the crayon box to pick. Like, just,
oh my God.
Just figure it out. Just figure it out and go with one. Preferably the one that doesn't cost me more money, but come on.
Oh, wait, I thought you were still talking about crayons. I was like, are there some crayons that are more expensive than others? Like,
only when they draw on stuff they're not supposed to be drawn on.
Sure. That makes sense. I mean, I don't know what that is because I haven't been a kid in a long time. I'm not sure I was a kid when I was a kid. I just left a wake of destruction everywhere I went.
Oh, my kids, you give them any kind of writing implement, not even writing. Like, I went down to the kitchen table one day and I was like, who carved stuff in here with this fork? Why are you doing that?
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So my mom called me one time. She had just gotten a new car and she had picked the girls up from ballet. And I don't know why my daughter was like, she had written, "Help me, Mom," in pen on the seat behind because she didn't like what my mom was listening to on the radio. So my mom delivered them and then went home and got the groceries out of the back and saw the artwork. And she was like, would you ask your daughter why she wrote this?
Is this the same kid that drew stars on your car?
No, a different kid.
The dog butts?
That looked like dog butts, yeah. No.
Man,
Different
yeah.
kids. My kids are very artistic. I like to just say they're very artistic. As long as they do it to my house, I don't care so much
You need to give your kids mittens with no thumbs. That's what
I
they
give them
need.
paper. We have so many art kits in this house. It's dumb. There's so many things that they could actually be drawing on or doing that's creative and constructive. No.
Yep.
Let
From
me
now
do
on,
the
if it
seats.
can't be operated by holding both hands together, then they can't have it. So I'm saying mittens with no thumbs. They're just trapped. Like they can only flip.
I
like
told you that they'll even draw on each other. That one time I was on the phone with a client, and the 5-year-old led the 3-year-old in, and I was like, "Oh, I got to let you go." And she had made her a zebra, with a permanent marker.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
Yep.
Oh, that's good stuff. But the good news is no taxing your heat, Stimmy. That's all that matters. We're going to get that up at the website shortly. That'll be at i95rocks.com in the app. Jay Stu and Corey, Bangor's classic rock station, I-95. Hanging out here on this Monday. You ever notice how this feels like the longest time in the world, like that 2 weeks or the week leading up to Christmas, where you're just like, all right, I've had enough. I've had the holiday parties. I've had the stuff. Like, please give me the days off and the presents, and then that's it. And then beer at the end of the other week, and I'm all good. And then
I usually take that last week of December off because my birthday is in there, and I usually take that off and hang out with the kids. But because I had that hospital stay of the tonsillitis, I'm going to work through that. And that's made things feel really, really long and weird. And I'm totally not ready for any of the stuff I should be doing right now. And then on top of that, yesterday, I was looking through, I'm like, a couple of the packages I ordered while I was in the hospital, high on Oxy, didn't come. I wonder what happened. And I looked into it, and I got scammed. And thankfully, it wasn't for a lot, but I was so sad.
Well, did you do it through Amazon or anything?
No, it was like it was a Black Friday sale because I was in the hospital on Thanksgiving, and then I was not doing super well because I had that allergic reaction rash thing. But I knew I had to get stuff done, and I was like, if I don't do it now, I'm going to be screwed in the long run. So I just ordered these things that looked like great deals, and I screwed myself over. So
sometimes what I do is I'll see something that I really like, and it looks like it's on a sketchy website. So I'll look for it on Amazon.
Yeah, I should have done that.
So that even if I buy it, I can. You have that layer of protection. You can be like, "Hey, I got scammed" or whatever, and then
I blame the drugs. I mean, I was on heavy duty antibiotics and painkillers for that.
My entire life script is blaming it on the drugs. So
I was just so sad. I was like, oh, that's not, because they were two like fun things I was going to get the kids that ended up just not happening. So when I ordered a bunch of stuff yesterday through reputable places, I realized after I had hit send that none of it was going to show up in time for Christmas. So it's like, this will be delivered the 27th. And so I said to the kids, hey, there's going to be some more presents that week that you're just going to wake up every morning for that last week of vacation and have like presents over.
What kid wouldn't love presents after Christmas?
Yeah. So
you've got nothing to worry about. Kids
trying
love
to fix that stuff. Yeah.
I know because I'm a kid.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
All right. When we come back here in just a couple minutes. Of course,
we got to talk about that wrong way driver.
Yep. We're going to get to that right away. Just after 8 o'clock, we'll come right back to that because that's a big deal. That's serious stuff. So that's coming right up on I-95.